Shalom, Royal Family. The class you are about to hear is taught by the Honorable Yahweh, Beit Nun Sophie Yahweh, many years ago. Remember to like, share, and subscribe to our channel. Visit us at www.yahweh144000.com. Also, Royal Family, you can enroll in classes designed for the Godhead at www.universityofyahweh.org. And also, Royal Family and friends, we want to share with you Yahweh's Keys to Riches. And on that YouTube channel, you can listen to Yahweh's Daily Word and keep up with the correct solar time each and every day. We'd like to see you there as well. Go to Yahweh's Keys to Riches. It's in the description below so that you can join us there as well. Remember, when you get there, just like here, remember to like, share, and subscribe to our channels. All right, Royal Family, we look forward to seeing you there as well. Enjoy.
Shalom Alaikum. Again, it's my pleasure to be with you tonight to bring you an update on Ezekiel chapter 37 relative to the dry bones, who the dry bones are, what that means to and me as a people. Also, to let you know now is the judgment of this world, and the prince of this world shall be cast out, according to St. John chapter 12, verse 31. I want to bring to your mind 2 Timothy chapter 2, verses 23 and 24. I was invited to speak on National BET tonight on a special program, and I refused to speak because there was a person who has worked for 12 years and has been on various programs to try to nullify the work of Yahweh. And I found no need to dignify such an evil, wicked person who is fighting against the Creator and fighting against the rise and unity of our people here in America. 2 Timothy chapter 2, verses 23 and 24 says, "But foolish and unlearned questions avoid, knowing that they do gender strife." And in verse 24, "And the servant of the Lord Yahweh must not strive, but be gentle unto all men, apt to teach and patient. In meekness," in verse 25, "instructing those that oppose themselves." I'm instructing people who are opposing themselves. See, if Yahweh peradventure will give them repentance to the acknowledging of the truth. You see, in these type of programs where they bring people forward who have no knowledge whatsoever of what I teach, but simply speak evil of me without knowledge, first, they're saying what they don't know. They are trying to promote a philosophy and an opinion about me which they have no understanding. And I'm instructed in the word of Yahweh to simply avoid these type of people because they are foolish and they are unlearned. And I know in advance that all they do is gender strife and confusion in the minds of our people who are groping in darkness, trying to find the light. Our poor people in America are trying to find a way out of poverty into riches. Our poor people are trying to find a way out for their children who are being destroyed and annihilated in their faces, so that when they return from their classroom and return from getting an education at the sacrifice of their parents, they don't recognize these children that they sent to these institutions. that causes me to bring you to another scripture in the book of Jude, verses 10 and 11. But these speak evil of those things which they know not. But what they know naturally as brute beasts, in those things they corrupt themselves. That's the type of mindset that they had on the program of National BET tonight. A doctor from one of Luciferian mindset, or one of Lucifer's institutions. In verse 11, woe unto them, for they have gone in the way of Cain. Cain is the son of Lucifer, a murderer from the beginning, who killed Abel, a righteous servant of Yahweh, and ran greedily after the error of Balaam for reward, and perished in the gainsaying. So those who fight against the words of Yahweh are going to perish, and they're going to be destroyed, all because they oppose themselves. Now again, as I was about to bring to your attention, the reason that you don't recognize your children is because of Lucifer's mindset being institutionalized. If I were to ask you to identify Lucifer and where he is today, you would be unable to do so. You would point out each individual person who you would perhaps perceive as being evil and say that person is a devil. And even if you were to kill every one of those type of people on the entire planet Earth, Lucifer's mindset would continue. And the reason Lucifer's mindset would continue is because you don't recognize how Lucifer exists. Lucifer is also known as Cain. Lucifer is also known as the serpent, the great dragon, the beast, sons of perdition, prince of this world, devil, Satan. All of these are euphemistic terms for this mindset. And this mindset was developed in the garden. Yahweh placed two trees in the garden, and they were the tree of good and evil, and the other one was the tree of life. Now, these two trees were branches, were libraries. That's where the books are kept. And Yahweh told us not to eat from the tree of good and evil. And that was that library where good is mixed with falsehood, so as to deceive the minds of the people. And you have to understand that that's what that is. So the libraries are one of Lucifer's main institutions, whereby you are deceived, the minds of your children are deceived. And when I carry you through a review of what you learned in the first grade, before in nursery rhymes, you learned such falsehoods as Santa Claus. I remember sitting in classroom in the public schools and taught about the reindeer, 7 reindeer, I believe it was, and that they were flying through the sky. That's a lie. But I was taught these lies in the public school system, an institution of Satan. So when you send your children to school to be educated and get a good education, what they're getting is a good education into the mindset of Lucifer, who is an opponent of God, Yahweh. That's the definition of Lucifer. That's the definition of Satan. One who opposes the Creator, Yahweh. And you are a victim of Revelation chapter 12, verse 9, being deceived as a part of the world. It says Lucifer deceived the whole world. He has his books, his media, his television, his newspapers, his magazines are all destructive. Every single one of them. Even when you are taught physics and the various sciences, he weaves and snakes in his philosophies. If it's nothing but Darwin's theory or creation or secularism, humanism, all of these weird, wicked philosophies that oppose the Creator, Yahweh, which is the tree of life. All that is of the tree of life is banned in the public institutions of Lucifer, Satan, the devil. They're banned there. That's why the Bible was taken out of the public schools. And yet, when this country's foundation was laid, when schools were first established in America, the Bible was the only book used. And that's how America got her strong foundation to become known as a great country, because the Bible was her foundation. But after she gained this foundation, then she turned around and took that same book out of the school, which means they took God, they took Yahweh out. Now, when you take God out of the school, would you please use your intelligence and your logic and tell me what in the world you have left? You could only possibly have devil left, Satan left, Lucifer left. You couldn't possibly have anything else. You take prayer out of the school, then who are you acknowledging? Who are you looking up to for answers to your problems? Here you have children are not taught to rely on Yahweh, the Creator. So you have to understand clearly tonight that I'm identifying the devil to you, Lucifer, where he lives. He doesn't just live in your head. Sure, he lives in your head as ideas. But how do you get rid of him? Oh, there's a day coming. Oh, there is a day coming. You are now hearing what hellfire is going to be. Oh, yes, I know. You thought each single individual was going to be thrown in a lake that burns with fire. There's going to be a lake burning with fire, all right. It's going to be every institution that's of that tree of good and evil. Every library, every evil book on the planet, every evil, wicked book and fiction and lie is going to burn in a huge, you talk about a lake over this planet. Yeah, they'll all be brought to one place and just burned all over this earth. Oh, yes. Oh, yes. That's why they have freedom of speech and freedom of press. You see, that's selected so that evil, wicked ideas can be printed and published all over the planet Earth. But notice, on the program tonight, this Dr. Dunn says that what he is against is the fact that I'm God, or the Son of God. The fact that I say that I'm the Yahweh, Beit Nun Yahweh, that's what he doesn't like. That's what I'm being tried about. Though the ACLU lawyer says that's no reason to hold me in prison, and especially for a year. Think about it. I'm still being held for my view and for what I present from Yahweh right out of the Bible, which shows you that the wicked are sitting in high places, that the wicked with Luciferian mindsets are sitting there to block you, the people, from learning the divine mind of Yahweh. They don't want you to receive the culture of Yahweh. They don't want you to receive the divine instructions from Yahweh. They don't want you to have the knowledge of the tree of life and how to live forever, coming from that good tree. That's the knowledge that I bring to you. It's from that good tree. That's why you being without this knowledge, then you will not know how to fight Satan. When you turn your television, there's nothing wrong with television when it's used in righteousness. But when you flip 100 channels, it's all Lucifer's mindset. 100 channels, 24 hours a day, you can turn TV on, and nothing teaches you how to move from poverty to riches. Nothing teaches you how to be righteous, how to be truthful, how to be honest, how to be upright, rectitudinal. Nothing teaches you how to be straightforward and honorable and of good conduct. Nothing teaches you how to be moral and ethical and good. You don't learn these attributes and characteristics of God. Nothing teaches you how to be majestic and honorable. Nothing that you see on television or read in any of the books or in any classes from any of these institutions. These are all institutions. Every single institution of this earth is de facto of man, the mindset that comes from the tree of good and evil, which is death to your mind and death to us as a people who are the chosen people of Yahweh. We are suffering as dry bones in the valley of America. That's what we're suffering from. We are absolutely suffering from this reality and unconscious of it. So you have these institutions that exist to brainwash you away from ever knowing your true self, your true history, your God, your nationality, your culture, your language, your name, and your land. And even when you hear it, there's nothing that he teaches you that would reinforce who you are and what you desire to do. Now, I'm come to set up an institution, and I'm setting up that institution, which is diametrically opposed to all of the tens of thousands of institutions that are established across this planet Earth in Luciferian mindset. I'm setting up one lone institution Yahweh University, or the University of Yahweh, Yahweh, God, the divine mindset of the creator of the universe. That's the school that I'm setting up. And you need this school in every city, in every country, and I will have Yahweh University set up in every country on this planet. That's what I'm come to do. Establish the kingdom of heaven, which shall never be destroyed. I am here to make certain that the knowledge of Yahweh, is full. The earth is full of the knowledge. Isaiah chapter 11, verse 9. So what I'm setting up is going to cause the knowledge of Yahweh to become full in the planet earth. Oh yes. And that's going to automatically eliminate these institutions that you've been taught to love and to worship and to honor. And just think about this. You have actually paid out tens of thousands of dollars a year to go and get educated away from your rulership. You've actually paid tens of thousands of dollars to get degrees, to learn how to oppose yourself. You've actually paid tens of thousands of dollars, your hard-earned dollars, your relatives' dollars, your mother's dollars, your parents' dollars, to learn how to be educated away from how to be a king and a queen, how to be princely, how to be erudite, how to be clever, how to be debonair, suave, and savoir-faire. You have been educated away from how to walk around on the planet Earth as the ruler, as the employer, instead of the employee. See, you actually get educated away from being the boss. And you're educated away from being the producer to become the consumer. So that no matter how much money you get, you can think only one thing: how to give it all back to the same institutions that brainwashed you and that you complain about abusing you. You complain about them enslaving you. You complain about them overpowering you. You complain about the police institution abusing you, police brutality. You don't have to suffer any of that. All you have to do is return to the right library. Return to the right institution. That's why you have to learn how to think right. See, that's why this name Yahweh begins with the right side, and you read to the left. The enemy of Yahweh teach you to start writing on the left and read to the right. So that's in opposition. See? So your thoughts are in opposition to yourself as a people. That's why you're on the bottom of civilization. You shall forever remain on the bottom of civilization, when it's getting 7 times worse than it is now, unless you return to right thinking, to the right side, and start reading from right to left. Oh yes, that's your task. And that begins with the knowledge of Yahweh. Yud is on the right-hand side. Hey is the second letter. Wav is the third. Hey is the fourth, beginning on the right side. This feast, you've been educated into that knowledge, and I'm sharing it with you tonight. Yes, you can tell. Now you'll be able to sing that song, Satan, we're going to tear your kingdom down. You couldn't tear Satan's kingdom down when you didn't know the base of his kingdom. You didn't know the source of his kingdom. The source of Satan's kingdom is his institutions. What do you think of foundations? Why do you think foundations are tax exempt? And that all rich men set up a foundation in their name and from the company and the business? Because the foundation, that institution is the foundation of Lucifer's kingdom. So they grant individuals millions of dollars to write books from their own individual mind, from the tree of good and evil, and those institutions live on for hundreds of years, thousands of years. You have religion is nothing but a false institution. It's totally false. All religion is false. I don't care what religion it is. It's all false. It doesn't come from the Creator, Yahweh. He didn't give us religion. He gave us laws, statutes, judgments, and commandments. That's what he gave us. And when you left those laws in the garden, you died. And you got kicked out. And you went through your first trial. Oh yes, that's where you find out, through me, that these institutions existed in the midst of the garden. And the first thing that the opposer of Yahweh did, the Luciferian mindset, he turned around and burned all of our libraries, like the Alexandria Library, the Carthaginian from Carthage over in Africa, all those great libraries we had in all over Africa, the heathen, the enemy of Yahweh, burned those libraries so that you could not be great and you would not learn how to be kings and queens. Remember that the knowledge of our forefathers produced kings and queens and rulers of the earth. Why are you not that now? Because those institutions were burned and destroyed. And they have me incarcerated because they could tell when I established and put a sign up, the University of Yahweh, they knew that was the end of their institution. Ultimately, because I'm producing children who from birth, from your womb, all they know is Yahweh. They get their education going into the knowledge of Yahweh from the basic source of this one book, his book. And they graduate coming out right on into businesses established by us who believe in Yahweh. And those businesses give them an independent financial base from which all other people can be employed and who are still in the knowledge of Yahweh. They didn't understand what that meant. You didn't understand what that meant. Tonight you understand what that means. So now you understand that these institutions, it's not just a library, it's every single institution revolving around the five power structures. The economic institutions. Just take, for example, Ronald Reagan. I believe he just opened up his institution. They call it a library, presidential library, paid for by taxpayers. And 500 years from now, you can go get all his ideas of deception, how he deceived the nations of the world. You can look at every past president, how they deceived the nations of the world. You can look at the Library of Congress. It's down the Congressman's library. That's all. These are their institutions that they have their deceiving ideas. So see, you wondered where in the world do white children learn how to rule over your children? They learn from all the institutions that surround them. All of the institutions that surround them. Teach them in your face. And you are unconscious to it. That's what happened in the garden. You died. So you can't see it. You're in darkness. You can't see that these institutions are brainwashing you to oppose yourself. And then turn around and beg them for freedom. If you believed in God, why you go to man for freedom? Yahweh has the power to give us freedom. All throughout the Bible, he freed Israel. Yahweh freed Israel. Always did. He sent men to free Israel. He sent prophets to free Israel. He sent kings to free Israel. He sent somebody to free us. I'm here to free you today from being dry bones in the valley. I'm very excited, as you can tell. I'm extremely excited. I really could speak on Lucifer's mindset and his institutions for a long period of time, but I hope and pray to Yahweh that this agitates you enough that you will carry this further and identify those institutions and understand how priceless Yahweh universities are going to be in every city in this country. This is your institution of righteousness. See, that's all you need. You don't need any other book but the book of Yahweh. Now, there are supporting books that we will all write coming from this core. See, all books in physics and geometry and math and the various sciences have to be rewritten, taking the mindset of Satan out from it, and you'll be left with pure science. See, there's nothing wrong with science. It's the wicked ideas that they weave around sound. They have Darwin's theory that you came from monkeys and evolved from the sea or something. Don't you understand this comes from one man? Since when is Darwin God of the heavens and the earth? He never claimed to be the God of the heavens and the earth. They don't promote him as the gods of the heavens and the earth, or the God. But yet he's worshipped in the schools, in the public institutions, educational institutions. He's worshipped as if his word and his theory is God. And you have failed to study the definition of theory. Theory is a group of ideas and suppositions put forward without proof. There is absolutely no proof Theory is not a science. Theory is a proposition, an opinion put forward that they subsequently afterwards try to find evidence to support and to try to prove his theory. And there's no way to prove his theory, yet they have our children learning the theory of an enemy to Yahweh, the creator of the universe, an enemy to you and your children, to cause you to not believe what you should have learned in church. That, have you not heard, Psalms 82:6, have you not heard that you are gods and children of the Most High? I have said you are gods, and all of you are children of the Most High. Can't you see why this is not taught in the church? This is not taught in the church, that you're gods, because the preacher can't make you a god. That's why. He can't show you how to become the children of the Most High. The children of the Most High become the Most High themselves. Those who are not the children of the Most High are base men. They are men of dust, dust-minded men. They are men who crawl around on their belly, and their belly becomes their God, and all that surrounds their belly becomes their God, as evidenced in the Anita Hill and Thomas confirmation hearing, Clarence Thomas. This was confirmed that they're crawling around on their belly. They are consumed with what surrounds the belly. And such despicable things on international television, the leaders of this country are depicting that they're consumed with long dong silver. That is a shame. Before concerned with pubic hair around Coke cans. Can you imagine the rulers of the country having such a base mind as this? That's a despicable disgrace in the eyes of all civilized people. Think about it. And the institutions of this world have so deceived the minds of the people that they're willing to condemn that man on the basis of the allegations of one person that's unsubstantiated. It doesn't matter whether what she said was true or whether it was false. It's against the laws of the Creator, Yahweh, to try any man or woman on this planet Earth without at least two witnesses, and then those two witnesses must be able to withstand a diligent inquiry as to the veracity and truth of their statement. No man should be tried and killed and hung because one person can walk up and accuse them. Don't you understand how insane that is? Don't you understand that there is no safety for you or your children when half of the country is willing to condemn and hang a person because another person accuses them? That means one person can walk around as a sicko and get rid of everybody on the earth that they don't like. That's sickness. That's the absolute deception from Lucifer's mindset and his institutions, that your children and the people in this country, regardless of their color, have been so deceived that they have now come to the point that they're willing to hang a person on the word of another person without corroborating evidence or without substantiated evidence. We need Yahweh divine mindset. Now let us go, briefly leaving that, which I'm sure you don't want to leave it. I'm sure you don't, because it's dealing with the judgment of this world. I'm sure that somehow you would certainly like to understand who the prince of this world is. Well, now you know the prince of this world hides in the institutions, and they are all opponents to the order of the celestial life of Yahweh. Now, you can understand that truly we did die, and you know why we are listed in Ezekiel 37 as dry bones and very dry. But I'm sure that I have opened some veils in your mind at this time. I'm sure that you are caused to see what you could not see before tonight. Now you know where the mindset of Lucifer lives and resides. It's in his institution. So you know what has to happen. The first thing that has to happen is for you to rescue your poor little children out of those institutions and establish Yahweh universities in your cities. It's the answer and the solution. Yahweh will support it. Don't worry about it. You must do it to be saved. And you must enter Yahweh University yourself to be saved. That's what Matthew, I think, 11:29 is all about. Take my yoke upon you and learn of me. Okay? So my yoke is my school. Yahweh University is the yoke. And you learn of who? Of me, my divine mind. Because the thoughts that I'm sharing with you and have shared with you during this feast, you have to admit are divine.